Jefferson in motion. Off play action. Fired over the middle. Picked off at the 31-yard line. Awuzie. Skoranek couldn't handle it. And the Cincinnati Bengals in 22 seconds have a touchdown and a takeaway.
I don't think Matthew Stafford can believe this one. Off the hands of Skoranek, who also had a...
So with that being said, it ain't... Wait, where am I looking at? Okay, cool. There we are. It ain't exclusive if it ain't a EMLN exclusive. It's your boy BQ, and we're in the beautiful downtown San Jose, in the heart of Silicon Valley, San Jose, California, 408, as y'all know best. We're in the EMLN HQ studios, and, you know, on the EMLN podcast, we highlight the art of vision, shedding light on the culture leaders, dive into untold stories of the challenges they face to pursue their passions. My special guest today is Chidobe Awuzie. What's up, my bro, man?
Hey, yo, what's good, my boy?
Well, first and foremost, how you doing, man? How are you feeling? How's everything going?
It's blessed to be back in San Jose. You know, me and you tapped in the past 2 times I've been back, so it's just tapping in back with all the people, you know, from way back when. And I think it's just a beautiful thing that every time we come back to San Jose, it's always the same. It's always all love. So, you know, I'm feeling blessed.
Hell yeah. Hometown legend, man. It's crazy. Like, I still remember when we was at Oak Grove, you know, when we were younger. That's like 10 years ago. Yeah. It's about to be 10 years.
That's crazy.
It's about to be 10
Someone
years.
got to set up that reunion, too. No cap.
I saw that they set up a reunion for like the whole decade on Facebook. I was dying. And they were selling tickets, too. I was like, how are you selling tickets to the reunion?
I ain't going to know half of them. I ain't going to lie. A whole decade?
A whole decade. We're talking about like 2009 to 2000 all the way to...
That might be lit, actually.
Yeah, it might be going crazy. But shout out to whoever organized that. No diss. It's just, you know, we just shed light on that. But yeah, man, like, you know, like I said, I let off with saying hometown legend. I think that's a fair statement. You know, all the things that you've accomplished and just the journey that you've took, like it's super inspiring. And I think a lot of people, you know, have an idea. You know, they see your work, they see your Instagram, they see you on TV. But I think this is going to give you an opportunity to kind of unpack a little bit of the things and the emotions that you went through to get to that level. So for the people that don't know, for the select few, you know, that don't tap into sports, Chidobe Awuzie, you know, he played at Oak Grove High School, got a scholarship to play at Colorado for the Buffs. If I'm not mistaken, I think the coach over there used to coach at San Jose State, and that's kind of how you establish that relationship and put you in a great opportunity to participate in the Pac-12, right? Pac-12 championship. And also, you know, from that career after 4 years, you know, got the opportunity to get drafted 2nd round, 60th pick for the Dallas Cowboys. And that was super huge. You know, everyone in the hometown was like, holy shit, motherfucking Cheeto made it to the league. Like, that was such a sick ass feeling, because it was like I'm pretty sure other people have told you this. Like, it feels like we all won, because it feels like, you know, you come from San Jose and you made it to a place that everyone has seen, like watching, you know, if you're an athlete or someone growing up, you were always tuned in sports. So we always saw that as like one of the bigger platforms. So seeing you on that stage was like, it was mind blowing, you know, and that was just the beginning. I mean, like, there's still more, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you had your journey in the Dallas Cowboys. You had amazing moments, amazing games that you perform, amazing performances. And then you transition into the Cincinnati Bengals. This is going to be your 2nd season, right? Going into your 2nd season. And, you know, you were at the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl. Like, I'm going to unpack this a little bit, because there's like, you know, many kind of perspectives I want to go into about it. But I just want to say congratulations. You know, that is such a huge accomplishment. For the ones that, you know, don't understand the value of like the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship, like that is the top of the top. Like there is nothing beyond that. And the fact that you got to that point and you found a way to even get further, like when you got that interception, bro, I already told you this shit. Like, I was driving, my family was like, Cheeto got a fucking interception. Like, I was tripping out. So, you know, sorry to get all fanboy here, but this is just the truth. Like, you know, I'm a fan of my homies. I'm a fan of my friends. When I see them do dope ass shit, I'm really inspired by all that shit. So this is my way of saying congratulations. And I want you to know that you are a legend and you already earned that stamp. Like, I don't care what no one says, you got that stamp, and you have that respect for me. You know, I'm pretty sure I can speak for everyone that San Jose, you know, appreciates the contribution that you've done to like shed light to the city. Because when you was walking down that airplane, you had that fucking San Jose hat on.
Man, always representing.
Had that San Jose hat, and it had the old English. Like that was so hard. Like, and I was one of the first things I reposted when I seen it. I was like, real quick.
Got a rep.
For
for sure. I think you know, even in that game, I know you mentioned it. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, it's good.
Like, you know, in the Super Bowl, like I remember like taking a shower like 2 nights before or a night before, and all I could think about was Oak Grove against Mitty. You know, our senior year. Like I was like, dang, you know, I had a taste. You know, I had a taste to like. I remember that feeling like losing, and I was like, bro, I don't want to feel that again. I was like, Chido, look how far you've taken it, you know. And it's those memories at Oak Grove with my boys, or those memories of San Jose, you know, all the people, you feel me, the culture, the love that like kept me going. You know what I'm saying? That was like my backbone. Cause like after that moment that I ain't gonna lie, I cried about like how far I've taken it type thing. I was like, okay, I'm ready, you know. And when I entered that Super Bowl, it's like everything's on the line, and I got all these people with me. I got all these people rooting for me, and the love is really felt. So San Jose's always in my heart.
Man, so, that's crazy because like only a few people will know like the emotions of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I mean, you know, we're older now. You know, like people that put the cleats up early. You know what I'm saying? Like we still even know that, and know how much it meant to us to try to get to the championship, and the fact we weren't able, and we fell short, and it was like a brotherhood, you know, like everyone around us, like we all felt that pain. We all cried that day, you know. It's like, damn, we took the L, but to your point though, like I loved how you leveraged that as like motivation, and was able to like not gonna let that happen. So like, you know, about that, like what was the feeling like walking on, like the leading up to the Super Bowl? Like I hate to just jump right into it, but that's like really where my mind's at. Like what was like the lead up? Like how did you feel? Like the fact that you were actually on this level, on this stage. You know, obviously you expressed that you didn't want to lose again, but what were the emotions like leading up to just the fact that you got to that level? You know?
So I mean, the Super Bowl, for those that don't know, you know, it's the biggest game in football pretty much. And you know how it happened was we had 2 weeks to prepare, and that first week, you know, it was all like mental, all just like getting the game plan down, the film study, the opponent, studying the opponent and stuff like that. And then the second week we went to LA, and that one's more like you just refining everything that you went through the week before. So that week's more where you start to prepare your heart, like you're preparing your heart, your emotions to play the game. And I would say, you know, everybody talks about the Super Bowl, but really, like it's the build up and then the aftermath of the Super Bowl, which I say is like the biggest difference between any other game. Because when the whistle started and like we started playing, I was like, oh, this is just another football game, bro. Like, you know, obviously this last Super Bowl was in LA and we played the LA Rams. Yeah. So that was a little different. For sure. We still had more fans though. We still had, I swear we had more fans.
That is true.
They was amped up in there, bro.
That is very true. But, LA don't got no fans. I'm a Niner fan. I'm a Niner fan. Go ahead.
But yeah, so when the game started, it was like, oh, this is just another game. But you know, obviously the aftermath of the Super Bowl, we didn't get the result that we wanted. It's like, okay, dang, I lost the Super Bowl. Like, I have to hold that on to for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? And then obviously before too, it's like all the emotions and, you know, the heart clearance, you know, checking in with your teammates. I know they're doing heart clearance. It's like, you know, we're trying to stay as level-headed as possible. And that's one thing I could say that we did was like really have each other's backs and really like made it comfortable for everyone. I could say no one was nervous. No one was like tripping over the moment. Like we really went in there and just tried to ball. So, you know, I think even though we lost, we're still proud of the team that we were a part of. So,
but it's so crazy how you illustrate that. Like it's all a mental game, essentially. Like the whole build up, like it's a you against yourself, right? You know, you're in fear of messing up and potentially, you know, fumbling the ball, I guess, or whatever that would, you know, be. But that's crazy. You know, it's funny. There was a video I seen on ESPN that was going viral, and it showed, I don't know who it was on the team, but they were walking up on the part of the facility, and there was like a pole, and they split the pole, and they're like, nah, go around. They made it go around. I don't know who that was, but
I think it was Jamar and like somebody else.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. That right there showed me like you guys are like on the same page. Like nothing is gonna stop y'all type shit.
For real.
So that's I appreciate you illustrating that, just because I know a lot of people, a lot of fans are like, you know, they want to know how you guys approach this moment. You know, not everyone goes to the Super Bowl and most importantly experiences it. So one of the things I also wanted to emphasize on, like I said, I was hella hyped about, was the interception. So like what was going, like so walk me through that play, like how it played out, and you know what was going through your head when it happened, you know.
So one thing about the Super Bowl is halftime is long as hell. Yeah, the performances.
Oh yeah, true.
So like when we went in there at the halftime, we already knew like, okay, we're gonna have 10 minutes to rest, 10 minutes to warm back up, and then 10 minutes to go over film. So dang near 30 minutes. That's a halftime. Usually you only have like 7 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, as soon as I got in there, I, put my legs up, laid on my back, put a towel on my eyes. I was just thinking, visualizing. And like I was visualizing an interception, like literally visualizing an interception, and like visualizing all the things that like the scenarios that could happen, trying to review the game that happened. And then as we, started warming up again, our offense actually came out there and scored a touchdown, like right away, like boom, touchdown. I was like, okay. And my coach, I was playing a little bit more off coverage this game. My coach was like, Chido, get up there and be aggressive. Like, be aggressive. I was like, all right, bet. So then I got up there, and then, like, I don't know if it was the first or second play. The first play, I pressed the guy. Second play, I did the same thing, pressed the guy. And then, like, I jammed him up pretty good, and he ran his route. But I think since my jam got him, like, the timing was off. So the ball was a little off to his left, and then he tipped it up, and I caught it. And, like, that moment of, like, jubilation was, like that's a high. Literally.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
it's
a
like
high.
a feeling that
It's like you catch it. You don't even know how you
how you
fell
wanna move.
down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get up. I got up. I'm just like, start shaking my head.
Yeah.
And everybody else start coming up. I start realizing like the moment.
Yeah.
And then like I look in the stands. I see my brother, my mom, my dad, my family, my cousins. It's just like, oh, we're gonna win the Super Bowl. We're gonna win the Super Bowl. And then obviously we lost, but still, like the moment was
but
crazy.
that emotion on that
crazy.
moment, and you were able to see Dove and your family and everyone from where you were at.
Yeah,
because you already knew where they were at.
Yeah. So I was pointing at them, but I think they was too juiced. They didn't know I was pointing at them. So
I'd be going crazy too, man. I mean, we all were, So
Facts.
yeah, man, I wanted to go straight into that because I know that's like obviously the football fans and everyone, that's the first things they want to talk about.
Yeah.
So yesterday you just had your third football camp at PayPal Park. 100 plus kids. I think it was way more than that, honestly.
Yeah, it was probably like 250.
250 kids.
300, yeah.
Amazing. Did it at PayPal Park, home of the San Jose Earthquakes. Giving back to the community. You had coaches that were previous athletes. They were people that we grew up with. Myself, I was a part of it, and some of our other friends, and even other players from the surrounding cities. Other kids from surrounding cities came. So it was like a whole Bay Area thing, not just a San Jose thing. So first off, thank you for continuing that project, because it's giving a lot of youth and next generation like inspiration. Because it's reminding them like even someone within your block or your neighborhood can actually like get to this level. So, and I know when we were kids, we had examples of that too growing up, where they had those camps, and it was super inspirational. So
you've been to one of those?
When I was younger, I just always knew about them.
Okay.
I've always wanted to go to those like those like 707 camps. I always wanted to do them, but I never did them. You know what I mean? But even when like, for example, like Isaac Sopoaga, like when he showed up to high school when we were in high school, like he played for the Niners, and we all thought that was a huge ass deal. Playing pass him.
Nate Clements.
Nate Clements. I seen Carlos Rogers there at the time. I seen I know I'm forgetting some names right now, but there's for sure been other players, and there even other athletes like Cain Velasquez from the UFC. Free his ass, man. Fuck all that pedophilia shit. But so that was a huge deal. So I guess my question with that is like, how does it feel to like leave such a big mark in your hometown, like in that level? Because you're curating a whole event with kids and their families, and it's free, completely free. Yeah. So tell people a little bit about that.
Well, like obviously the vision, I have the vision a couple of years ago to start doing camps. A lot of football players do them, but I didn't really see too much of it in Southside San Jose from our products, other than me and probably Steven Anderson. I know he does a camp as well. So that's what started it. But at the end of the day, it was a collective effort. Like it was not me. Like I was just like the face of it. But there were so many people that had to, execute for it to be possible. San Jose Earthquakes allowing us to use their field, PayPal Park, obviously. Los Gatos Orthopedic, the people who are doing the training. My agency, Rep One Sports, running point guard on everything. Audie, who works for the San Jose Earthquakes, she's a superstar, helping us do pretty much whatever that's positive for the community at PayPal Park.
Nice.
And then obviously the coaches that helped me, including you. I know a lot of things were on go and last minute, but the kids probably had the best time of their life. So,
for sure.
Obviously the parents. So it was a collective effort of just everybody wanting to, do their best and make an impact on the community. It was definitely not just me.
Crazy too, because I even seen Daniel's son there. I saw like my mentor's son was there. Anthony, his kid was there. Angel. So it was it's crazy because it's like I almost see myself like when I was doing like those little drills when we were at Pop Warner and stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel like to your point, like, yeah, it is super impactful, you know, to the community.
I guess this year I actually kicked the first goal of the season for the Earthquakes.
Oh, yep, I see
and that's
that.
when I got tapped in with them, and they talking about community initiatives. I was like, oh, well, you know, I like to do stuff in the community too.
Yep.
You know, what's one way I could possibly get involved, or collab, and the camp was, you know, one of the first ideas. So it just happened to be that way. Maybe not be something that we do every year. Maybe next year we go to Oak Grove. But, yeah, Oak Grove still always has my back. So,
and that's awesome, man. Just the fact that, you know, you took it to a new level. You
who
know
else
what I'm
was
saying?
having youth camps in soccer? You know what I'm saying? The stadiums.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
dope,
a big
man.
deal.
That's, dope,
that's what I'm saying. I wanted
had to jump on it.
I wanted to just know exactly. I wanted to know how you created that opportunity and how it evolved. You know, because to your point, like, it's only going to grow and more people are going to want to be a part of it, and you're going to continue your journey in the NFL. So people just want to, you know, be around that. So that was super dope, man. And you know, shout out to PayPal and the Earthquakes. We also collaborate with them too. So shout out to them. I wanted to ask you about the fashion. So I know you got your collection, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's a Awuzie collection, am I correct? What inspired your venture to get into the fashion world, and you know, how did you start this journey?
Okay, yeah. So the biggest thing is, I remember like 3 years ago, or I would say when I got into the NFL. You know, us, we weren't never really big in designer. You know, we weren't really big in designer. But when I got to the NFL, I started seeing all these guys pay like $3,000 for shorts, just because they said Gucci on them, or like $3,000 because I'm like,
facts.
I don't even know if you put that together right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I started wearing my cultural stuff, you know, bespoke wear, tailored for me, and people go, "Oh, what's that?" And I'd be like, "Oh, it's this," and you know, the stuff that we wear does not cost that much with that type of material, right? So, I started thinking like, okay, you know, when I look across the U.S., I don't see a lot of stuff of African identity, period. Like, not that many people can say they drove down the street and seen an African restaurant, you know, or, you know, African fashion. And now we're starting to get a little bit of African music. I think that's kind of leading the way. But outside of Black Panther, really, there hasn't been that much knowledge of what the heck African culture is.
Like representation.
Yeah, so I think it was one of those things where I was like, man, I think this would be a cool way to promote African identity. And that's why I started Awuzie NG. And essentially it's, you know, it's not just African fashion, but has an African identity to it. Like, it's inspired by African fashion. Because a lot of the stuff I wore last year, before games, walking into it, you know, pure born in Africa people would probably say that's not African fashion, but you know, it's like has streetwear element to it too. That's the key. Yeah, it's a twist. So, and then we also do regular bespoke and formal wear, you know, stuff for weddings. And really right now we're on the planning stages of it. I think a lot of people are excited to see what it comes to.
For sure.
I had a lot of people hit me up, people that aren't African, people who are from all over the place just hit me up asking when it's going to be ready, when can I order, And I think that's kind of the cool thing. You know, we can go to a Asian restaurant and say, oh, I had Thai food. And then you come to love Thai food. You know, it's kind of the same thing. I just want to have an outlet to where people can experience African fashion. And then further on, African identity, whether that's music, fashion, clothes, you know, food, all that stuff. So I just want to be one of the leaders in all those spaces. So,
Oh, that's dope, man. I think that's super dope because, like, you know, representation is important. And to your point, like, a lot of minorities don't have, you know, they don't own a lot of these things that we buy. You know what I mean? Like the Gucci you said, like people will spend $300,000s of dollars and they don't even like fuck with minorities like that. And this is just my opinion. I mean, people might be subjective, right? But I think that's super dope because, you know, you created your own lane essentially, and you represented the culture that, you know, made you who you are. So I think that's super powerful, and you know, you make it look dope, man. Like you said, there's people. So that's why I was curious. Like, you know, people from all over are asking about that. What are some of like the craziest feedback you got about it? Like,
craziest feedback. So like sometimes, so what they're called is Isiagu pants, and like they're the pants. They're like kind of like sweatpants, but they have a certain type of pattern design on it, and it's very like Igbo. So I'm Igbo, that's my culture, and like that's like what people wear who are chiefs. I put it on pants and made it look swaggy type thing. That's not usually what you're supposed to do. But it's a way to highlight the culture. And I'd walk into places with those on, and people would just compliment. Oh, where'd you get those pants? Are those Louis Vuitton? Like, nah, it's my brand. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, y'all seeing it. You know, I went to,
let it be known.
During the Superbowl, matter of fact, we went to Rodeo Drive, and we were walking in like all over that thing. And I intentionally wore those pants, and oh, where'd you get those pants? You know, and everybody just loves them. So that's probably been one of the key things where I've seen, okay, this could be something if I do it right. And that's why I'm trying to do it right. I'm just trying to plan accordingly so that, I'm not doing anything, taking any missteps. So that's kind of where I'm still at, is in the planning stages. Not really in the planning stages, but more in the executing phases of developing that plan. So yeah.
No, that's super dope. Yeah, because you definitely like teased it. Like it came out in a way where it's like it's out, And I looked at it, I was like, okay, they're still like previewing it coming soon.
Yeah.
But it does get that excitement. Like I want to see what it's gonna like, what you're gonna put out and how it's gonna look. So hell yeah, that's super dope, man.
Yeah.
Chido the trendsetter over here, man. You've always been this way. You always try to do your own trend. I remember when we used to go to Jack in the Box, you used to always order the fucking sourdough bread. And everyone was influenced by that shit, bro. Everyone was like, let me get the junior bacon junior bacon cheeseburger with sourdough
bread. Hey, Jack in the Box owed me money too, because after that, sourdough bread only used to cost 20 cents. After that, it cost like $1.29 now, bro. It was like, oh, they found out this hack. They went back to the books. Oh, it was them boys at Oak Grove ordering all that damn sourdough bread, bro. So
that location is super hot over there.
For real.
That's hella funny.
Appreciate it.
And congratulations with that. I do have a random question here. This is like a Bay Area question, and this is me telling you. Like I'm asking you. Right. So there was a game. I don't remember exact year, but it was against the Raiders. It was Dallas Cowboys versus the Raiders when you was a Cowboy. And then there was a third and I forgot what the how far the down was. It was like third and something, and it was a toss to Marshawn Lynch, and you went head up with Marshawn Lynch, and you went head on with him, and obviously he went out of bounds and he knocked you down, but there was that drive didn't convert into a first down. Like you stopped that drive. Everyone was paying attention to the collision and shit. But the bigger thing that I paid attention, I was like, damn, that's Oakland and San Jose right there. So I mean, like the fact that you get to play with people that you watched growing up, because essentially we were in high school when he was in the league. So like, what do you think about the idea that you're playing with people you watched growing up, and I mean, this is like I said, this is a biased perspective. I'm like, what was your, just your view on that? I guess just the fact that you went head up with Marshawn Lynch himself. What I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie. So that was my rookie year.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'll do that again, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey,
no,
hey, you did go.
I was young, hot, but the play, he did like a flat route, and I was playing cover 2, so I span out. And then, like, as soon as I span out, I was like, oh, he's right there. And usually running backs have a decision to, like, make a cut, go inside of you, run out of bounds. I'm like, okay, this is Marshawn Lynch. I know exactly what he's going to do. And he's looking. He had a dark visor on, but I could see him still staring into my soul. I said, all right, I'm going to show him I'm a dog, too. So then, I went to head up with him, and he stopped where he was, but obviously I was on my butt after the hit, and but that gave me a lot of kudos with the team. They showed that how tough I am, and that was a good moment for me too. Just that was probably, Marshawn Lynch is arguably one of the hardest running backs in NFL history.
Yeah,
like, everybody knows it, like him,
it's beast mode.
AP, certain running backs that that like, okay, these are going to be some hard runners. So that was a great moment in my NFL career in terms of waking me up as to what the NFL is like. And then in terms of the Bay Area part, I was young, so it's like you wish Marshawn knows you type thing, but he don't know your story. He don't know my story, or I'm from San Jose. So after, I made sure to tell him, like, oh yeah, I'm from San Jose. So
you actually talked to him?
Yeah, of course. After the game, that type of stuff. So you probably don't remember that either, but I do.
No, that's what's up. That's legendary. That's what I'm saying, because like it's a Bay Area thing, and I was telling people off camera, like there is something about when an NFL player or like an athlete makes it, and they actually play in the hometown that they grew up in, or they're just in that area that day when they perform. Everyone from that area is like supporting you and Marshawn and all the other Bay Area athletes. So it's like, that's why I was curious to know, like, just what your thoughts were on that, especially since you basically watched him growing up and shit. Facts. So that's huge. So I guess about the Bay Area too is like, what is it like coming back to the Bay Area after all the changes? Like, what do you want to do you want to impact the Bay Area? Would you move back? You know what I mean? Like,
I think the Bay Area is a place where you have to be very strategic, right? Because it's hard to own out here. It's very hard to own. You have to have a lot of coin, So like sometimes, it's better to like make your money other places and then come back here when you're settled. And that's kind of my plan, is to make money in other places, come back here when I'm settled. But you know, my parents' house is always here. You know, my boys, my family's always here, and this is always his home. So I definitely plan to move back at some point, and it's always love for the Bay Area. It's just like right now, it's like, dang. Even someone who I have a little bit of coin.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, this place is expensive.
Yeah, this is Silicon Valley. You ain't lying.
You get no joke. So obviously, you know, little things I could do in the community is always important. You know, I'm involved obviously with the camp, and then a couple of donations I made to local, you know, startups or local 501c3s and stuff like that, and you know, stuff that we've talked about off camera. You know, sounds very interesting too. So I'm always tapped in with what's going on, or trying to see ways that I could help.
Who are you currently like slapping right now on your playlist? Like who's like on rotation? Then I'll pivot into the Bay Area discussion. It's two separate discussions.
Like in general, or
yeah, like
from
general.
the Bay Area. Okay,
generally,
so
yeah.
Obviously, my Afro beats. So like Burna Boy, Wizkid, Rema, Buju, all these Afrobeat artists. I think it's the next genre of music. And then like you start going to like rap, it's like Nas, Forever Nipsey, you know, K Dot, who else? You got Mozzie. My Bay Area people, you got Mike Sherm, Slow B, EBK Young Jock, you know, all types of, you know, it's diverse. It depends on my day.
Yeah.
Like, shoot, this morning I was playing Slow or EBK Young Jock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I was running La Colina, I was playing EBK
Okay.
Young Jock.
La Colina.
And then like half the way through the work, I was like, yeah, let me play some Afrobeat. And I started playing some Afrobeat. So I mean, it's really just whatever's on type of thing. I enjoy. I try to enjoy.
If you were to go to a Bay Area hip hop show, who would you go?
Bay Area hip hop show.
Yeah, you know, because when it comes to music and then performing is different, you know, because some people when they perform, they bring some different energy, and it's entertaining. But some people just make good music, you know.
I'm gonna get a little tricky with it. I'll say I'll go to like, let's say if like the Jabberwockies was performing.
Okay.
I'd probably F with that.
You fuck around with the dance group Jabberwockies?
Yeah, like watching the dance group, or like go to like some turf concerts. People still,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Tud and turf. I'd probably like put to that for sure.
You should at the Culture Night Market we booked them dance team and Turf Inc. and they're from Oakland.
Yeah.
And they come out here and they do crazy shit.
Really?
They go to like international they go national shows for Red Bull.
Yeah.
So it's like dance competition. So they get like New York, Bay Area, Houston, like they basically get all the best dancers.
That's
and
tough.
I know Phil, who's, you know, shout out to Phil, he's been coming to our events a lot, like to perform and stuff. And he was just at one of them. He made it to the top 4.
Wow.
So they had a competition in Oakland first, and he won the whole competition.
Wow.
And then he went to the nationals, but I think he fell short. But the fact that like turfing is kind of coming back, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, bro, that's on hard. That's honestly one of, because the hyphy era and the crunk era were during the same time damn near.
Yeah.
And everybody just knows hyphy is going dumb.
Yeah.
They don't know like the intricacies of like what people was really doing. Like people was like turfing, tutting, bone breaking.
It's an energy.
You know what I'm saying?
It's different.
Like dancing has always been like Bay Area stuff.
Very
like,
prevalent in Bay Area
a
culture.
lot of other places have jocked how we dance and like kind of merged it into how they dance.
Yeah.
But it's all love at the end of the day.
It is, but it's so interesting that you say that, because a lot of rappers they say that. They like, a lot of people, they take the style from the Bay and they make it their own thing.
They run with it.
And I think Kamaya has a song with Du Bois, and in the intro, that's literally what she's emphasizing on it. Just like this, like they always trying to take our slaps, they always trying to take our style. He's like, we gonna take this shit, we gonna do it different. Like that's exactly that's the truth though. It really be like that, and it's not even just hip hop. Like freaking business and the tech space.
Facts.
It could go on for days, you
It's
know.
for real.
So I also wanted to ask you on the Bay Area, on the music note, is you know, I was telling you already off camera, you know what I'm saying, that for the ones that don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chido is a big fan of Kendrick Lamar, right?
Crazy.
You know, I think back in the days when we were slapping him back in like 2013, 14, this is like Overly Dedicated came out, OD, Michael Jordan, She Needs Me, She Needs Me, you know what I mean? All those slaps are going out. So it took 5 years for this guy to drop another album. So as a fan, you know, obviously we were kind of like feeling some type of way, because we thought it was going to come 2 years in, 3 years in, 4 years in. 5 years in later, he drops the, you know, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. So I guess what's your response as a fan? Like, was it worth the wait? Did you still appreciate the album after 5 years, or did you kind of wish he gave you a little something beforehand?
Honestly, I think just from hearing the album and being like a K-Dot fan, I feel like like he needed this album more than we did, for real. Like he was very introspective in this album, and after listening to it a couple of times, like, oh, this bro is really like, this is therapy.
Yeah,
like, this is literally therapy. He's talking to his wife. He's talking to, you know, this therapist. He's talking to, you know, the world, like basically his feelings and stuff, and all the stuff he went through. Like who puts on a song "My Auntie Was a Man" now and then starts rap, like making it, you know, it's like this is his story. Literally, it's like, dang, are we even supposed to hear this? Like, it's kind of vulnerable, bro.
Very vulnerable.
So I just really respect K-Dot's creativity, his art. And I think after those 5 years, it took him a lot of time because he was going through stuff. He literally starts in the album, I've been going through some things. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, it's kind of hella personal. It's a very personal album, but it has slaps on it for sure that I'll play this in rotation.
Yeah. No, I definitely got to second that. It is definitely a masterpiece. It is something you have to digest. You know what I mean? Because nowadays people consume music so fast and like the demand for it is so quick that people don't really create art no more. It's more like a monetization type of shit.
Moments.
So exactly. And that's why when artists actually take their time and they don't rely on radio and all that, like J. Cole and Kendrick and some of the people that have been able to manage cult followings and just like put out music and people love it for what it is. And the culture dictates if it's GOAT or not, you know, not fucking, you know, XXL or, you know, Billboard and shit. Favorite song on the album?
Like we were saying before, honestly, I would probably say Mirror, but like that Worldwide Steppers.
Oh, the first one? I think it was the first one, right?
It's the third
Second?
song.
Oh, okay.
Third song. But like, I wouldn't say that was my favorite song, but that was a song where I was like, okay, this was trying to talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Speaking.
Like the N95, that kind of gave me like the DNA feel, like this is radio type genre. But then when that Worldwide Steppers on, I was trying to like really listen to him. And then when he said like the first time off the white, I was like, oh, he was talking. I started listening like, let me, you know. So
no, he was.
Don't want to say too much.
No, he was definitely bringing some different, and you know, I can appreciate his musical art. What other? So you already mentioned other genres of music. You know, you slap in a little Afro beats and hip hop. Another thing I wanted to ask you, 3 last things.
Okay.
I guess the first thing is the chess. I noticed that you play chess, and like I seen on even years before, like I seen you on your story playing with Amari Cooper in the locker room and playing with other players and stuff. You know, what's up with the chess, man? Like, is chess something that we need to all be playing? Like,
I think so. I think chess is one of those forgotten games. You know, most people know about chess, and most people have referenced chess in their life, like, oh, life is a game of chess, or it's not checkers, it's chess type thing. Yeah. But not that many people like use it as a hobby. And I think when I started playing it, I was in college. I played it before that, but I started like really playing it. I was in college, and we were just bored in business class for real. Like, we had our laptops up, we found something to do. We just open up the chess, challenge each other, whoever won, play the next person, and that's kind of how we got through economics. So after that, you know, I kind of started always finding people who play chess. I started playing with them. And then, you know, when you lose in chess, it's like, dang, this brain's smarter than me. like how you just whoop me like that? I ain't see that. Like, you be stunned at the board, like, bro, what the hell just happened? Yeah. It's like, bro, you're not smarter than me. So then you start like trying to get better. And then you start to realize that chess really helps you prioritize and like organize your mind. So for me, you know, in life, I feel like once I started really playing chess, it helped me like prioritize what's going on like in the moment. Like, I have a queen, that's my most powerful piece. That's like the priority. But I can't lose my king or else I'll lose the game. These pawns can be sacrificed, you know, going out can be sacrificed, you know, eating this junk food could be sacrificed, but I can't not train, or I can't not, you know, study my film. Like, that's my king and my queen type thing, you know? And I think that really helped me like prioritize like my days, helped me articulate for some reason. I could articulate way better since I started playing chess. So, and it's just a fun game. It's very competitive. You don't have to move around. It's a cool game.
Yeah, you don't got to catch the ball.
You're chilling.
That is like, you know, you were able to kind of notice improvement in just kind of like how you approach and articulate things because you play chess. So like, you really feel like that actually has an improvement in just like how you process things?
Yeah, and I would say the biggest thing is probably like pattern recognition. Like, if I've been in a position before when I'm playing the game of chess, it's like, oh, I tried this move, let me try this move this time. Oh, this move worked. So now, like, transitioning it to life, like, I may be in a position where I've been in on the football field, or a certain stem a receiver gives me, or a certain look that he gives me. And I've seen that with another receiver. I've seen it on film before. It's like I'm just able to process it quicker. And the way I play chess is blitz, so it's on time. So like I'm moving.
Oh, it's the one with the clock.
Yeah, it's moving.
I seen that.
Clock, but I do it all virtual. So
okay.
Like that
is it the same?
me.
Do you think it's the same or it feels different? Obviously, it's the game, but
it's different because if you have time to think, if you have like a pop quiz versus a quiz, it's always going to be a different result.
Very true.
I feel like I'm always on pop quiz mode, so now I'm able to just always be on my pivot.
Yeah.
I just have, if I've done something before, I know I could do it again because like my pattern recognition is way better. So I think chess also helps with that, like just being able to respond to the same situation that contributed to a win or a success.
If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Oh,
that's what I took away. I saw you at UFC 276 in Las Vegas. You were with Joe Burrow and Jesse Bates. And I saw in the clip on UFC that you had a chance to meet Adesanya, who's also Nigerian, right? So, I mean, another athlete who made it to the top of the pinnacle is one of the champions right now as we speak. What was that like? Like, what was that encounter? And just, how did he receive you, I guess, as a friend?
Yeah, no, it was dope as hell. When we walked in, we got the chance to watch his walkout before the fight. I guess he does this every fight where he just like, it's like his pregame. He goes to the walkout, he gets into the ring, the announcer does the little yelling and all that stuff, and then he kind of simulates that he's fighting the person, and we got to like watch it. And for this one, he walked out with like the Undertaker thing. So when we were outside the stadium, we were like, dong.
Oh, the Undertaker thing.
Yeah, we're like, bro, what's going on, bro? Like,
oh shit.
So as you walk in, it's like, dong, because we kind of got late.
Yeah,
so then we kind of see, and then like we get in, it's purple lights, kind of dim. He's holding this oin with his head down with the hat. And it's just goosebumps, bro. Immediately, bro. I'm just like, oh yeah, this is about to be live.
So he's
dog.
Like, he's locked in.
Yeah, I was like, this is about to be live, dog. So then we got to see that, and then after, he came around, shook all of our hand. It was cool. I got to meet his parents. Well, not really meet his parents, but I greeted his parents. My culture kind of got to do certain things like that. So I greeted his parents.
Out of respect, for sure.
Yeah, it was a real cool experience though.
And then, I'm a fan of fighting. I watch boxing. I watch UFC all the time. Super lit. Well, so you were there, like you were like on the camera. My mom called me telling me that she saw you. She's like, "Yo, mira Chido, aquí estaba en la televisión." I was like, "Dude, come on, man. You know this already. He's everywhere, But I saw it was like on ESPN. But like the experience of the fight, like because you were there during the whole fight, right?
Yeah.
So what was that experience, just being in the watching all the fights and seeing the announcers kind of close distance?
It was really dope, man. Obviously, like you don't get the commenting or the commentating when you're there, and that's something that it kind of makes the fight a little exciting, like when they're like, the interactions. But now we're in person, we're doing in person.
You guys are the
so like you have to actually hear the punches connect and stuff, kicks connect. That Alexander Volkanovski fight, that fight was crazy.
Oh, with Max Holloway?
Yeah, he was just countering everything. Boom, 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 pop, pop,
that
pop,
guy's
pop.
insane, bro.
Yeah, I got him. I mean, personally, I don't want to say, actually, I can say that. I got him #1 pound for pound. And I know Kamaru Usman, I got him and Kamaru Usman, like 1A, 1B type thing. But,
they're separate weight divisions.
Yeah, they are, but like I'm talking about pound for pound.
Oh, just like
who's the baddest in all of UFC? I just really like how Alexander Volkanovski fights.
He's a savage, bro.
Yeah.
I seen videos of him training, and he's hitting like bamboo sticks, like these thick ass bamboo sticks, and he's kicking the shit out of them, like 20 times.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
You know how much pain that, bro? He's tolerated so much pain.
They know pain too, and he's little.
He's
too.
short,
he's short, and just small people. It was like wow. And then Pereira too, the Brazilian guy.
Oh,
that dude.
I saw that fight.
I ain't gonna lie. I had a little drink. I had some drinks in me, but I was saying like, I was like, oh no, there's no way I'd get knocked out in the first round. With Sean Strickland, I was like, there's no way I'd get knocked out. And then my Joey B and Jesse, they're like, bro, yeah, you are. So then I was like, man, I'm gonna stand up and size up this guy, because every time they walked by, they'd walk by us.
You gotta see how
tall
they are.
I wanted to see how tall he was. And I put my hand out, and then his hand is just like 3 times mine in the glove. Though, he kind of heavy handed, bro.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying. So. It's just mad respect for all the UFC fighters, man. They put on the show.
For sure. And that guy you just mentioned, I just got put on him recently. And obviously I should have been known about him because I think he's one of the only people giving Adesanya a little run for his money from his past fight. but I think that they're in the process of setting up that matchup.
Yeah.
I think that's the next fight that they're trying to build up.
Facts.
But that guy is only 6-1.
Yeah.
Like he only fought 6 times, but he's already like going for the opportunity for the championship.
He's nice.
So yeah, man, that's what's up. It's cool to see you kind of spectating other sports too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because athletes have respect for other athletes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the last thing I want to ask you about is your venture related to anime. And I know anime is huge for you. I saw you were at a convention recently, and fans send you art, and you've always kind of displayed that you have an appreciation for anime.
Yeah.
And I did hear on the last interview with Adina and Amalia that you're co-owner of an anime series called Peta Comics. And did you get it? And how did you get it? Like, my question is like, how did you get involved with that? I see that they're kind of highlighting African stories, and you have a character called Chiomai. Am I pronouncing?
Yeah. Well, the comic book is called Chioma.
Chioma.
Yeah,
there you
but then
go.
my characters, I don't know. We haven't developed.
Yeah, it's still in the works. But just this idea, the fact that you're in that space, like you're involved in that space, that was super. It threw me off guard. I was like, whoa, I knew you're a fan of it.
A lot of stuff,
Wait,
bro.
I see it.
Camera.
I know you in it. You know what I mean? So it's just super dope to know about it and actually see about it. So for the fans and people that are tuned into your story, like tell them a little bit about how you got involved and your appreciation for anime. Where did it start?
Yeah, so Peta Comics or Peta Entertainment, it's basically an animation / comic book company, and it's trying to tell the real African stories, not Wakanda or Black Panther, which is also amazing, but like some real stories. So a lot of research has been put into it. It's African owned, Black owned business, and you don't really see that type of stuff other than outside of like Japanese anime. So we're trying to kind of create a new segment in the market. And my love for anime just came from watching Dragon Ball Z growing up, stuff like that.
Hell yeah, DBZ.
Naruto. And then when I was in Dallas, I had the chance to meet a good friend of mine now, Mike Fukunaga, one of my really good friends. His dad, Gen Fukunaga, started Funimation. Like they literally made Dragon Ball Z.
Wow, so, that's crazy.
Like they made it in their house type thing, and they're actually were in San Jose when they made it.
Wow,
right where IBM was.
What? Yeah, that's like right by my house, bro.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, so they did that, and I got to hear their story, and so that connection flourished. And then there was one time last year, I was in a very creative mindset, and I was like, dang, I want to make an African anime. Like, I want to make an African story. So I literally wrote a whole story, pages, pages of it. And then my boy obviously has that connection. Like he was doing work with Peta Comics. So my boy Mike put me on with Peter, who's the owner of Peta Entertainment, Peta Comics. And then our connection hit off because we're both Igbo. Yeah. That's we're both from the same clan. So he's a great guy. We're all great guys, and I think a lot of great things are going to come from that. A lot of people are going to start to feel represented in the anime space.
That's huge, man. That's super huge. I mean, you've always emphasized on representation and just how important it is to rep your culture, and the fact that your relationship was built because of your connection through culture. That is huge. You know what I mean? And and I think that, and also pivots me to one of the last things I also do want to mention. You and I are both first generation Americans. Our parents did migrate to this country to seek better opportunity and set a foundation for the family for the future and next generation. So my question is after all the things that you've succeeded in and the levels and the heights you've gotten to, how because I know you visited Africa, right? You went back to Nigeria, and just kind of how was the response, and how was that just the fact that you came back, what I mean, and people know all the things that you've done. What was that reaction? I guess that's what I'm trying to.
It was so beautiful, man, and it was kind of hard to plan because we went to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
So I just needed a reset. But after I got my reset, I ended up going to Africa mainly to see my grandma. That's my last living grandparent on my mom's side, and from there, I realized how much of my family, how they're doing. I haven't really known how they were doing. We talk sometimes on text, or if my mom's calling somebody, I'll jump in the conversation, but it never really became personal, at least in my adult life.
Yeah.
But this time when I went back and made a lot of things personal, started to realize the scope of my family state, and me being, in the position I am, I kind of feel some responsibility, to do better, to give back, to have systems in place so that everybody can eat. And then I want to hear everybody's dreams. I want to hear how this person's doing, stuff like that. So Yeah, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience, bro. Just being back home, and I kind of want to. I know I want to go back to Africa like every year now, and I don't want to just go to Nigeria. I want to like experience Africa. Africa's like one of the biggest continents, and people wouldn't know that.
Huge.
They size it small on the map, but
yeah, no, it's really big.
That's a whole different story, but
that is another story.
Yeah.
We can definitely talk about that in the
for
future
real.
for sure.
So, yeah.
No, that's huge, man. I just wanted to highlight that because I think it's super important. You know what I mean? That people know that as first generation Americans that the opportunities can be created if you really put your mind and and focus into that. So
And that's why I think the Bay Area is so special too, because like a lot of us are that.
literally,
Like a lot of us are that. And like people hear San Jose, oh, it's the wealthiest or most popular, whatever, all that stuff. It's like, y'all ain't never been here.
No,
Y'all
for
don't-
sure.
Y'all don't understand. Like we don't know those people.
No, that's true because I mean they just posted something saying that San Jose is the top 10 happiest place to live.
Yeah.
Which it could be subjective. A lot of people that are
Subjective, yeah.
affected by gentrification could say something different, but the ones that are working in tech and really thriving in this economy are, they probably will say that. But to the point, like that's not the culture and that's not the people that really grew up here. So yeah, man, preserving that culture and ownership and doing the ventures that we're doing individually and as collective are important to really preserve that culture.
Facts.
Those are the stepping stones that we need to take. So
Facts.
just wanted to emphasize on that. And once again, Chido, bro, I really appreciate you coming down here. A lot of people that get to these accolades, they have the option to switch up or to be who they are. And you've always stayed who you were and you've always been down to earth. And I just appreciate that about you. And I'm glad to call you a friend. So thank you for, sliding down to HQ, EMLN HQ, doing this on a late notice, you know what I'm saying? But, we made it happen. So for the ones that don't know, this is the EMLN podcast. We in the downtown San Jose, Silicon Valley 408 with my guest, Chidobe Awuzie. And real South, just so the folks know, this is a real South situation.
You feel me?
We'll make that very clear. But with that being said, is there any last messages that you want to leave to the audience, to the fans, to the people that will tune in because they will tap in, they want to hear your voice, man. So what's the message to them?
Shoot, man. At the end of the day, it's my boy BQ. For those of you that don't know, he played football with me at Oak Grove, and one of the hardest workers I know. On the football field, we used to train all the time. Trying to get better and stuff like that. And BQ has never slowed down, literally never slowed down. Like that same work ethic he put in it to EMLN. And then EMLN transitioned into what it is now. It's the culture night market and EMLN and, all this business entrepreneurship, it's really beautiful to see. So I'm always gathering inspiration from, my peers and, BQ is definitely one of those guys. So shout out to him for having me on this podcast. For sure.
I appreciate that, man. Slow feet don't eat. Timmy did put us through those workouts early morning. Late
night.
That shit really was though. That was really the lifestyle,
Facts.
like even before all this shit,
Facts.
So hey man, thank you so much for being a part of this. If y'all, just tune into the podcast, make sure you subscribe. Subscribe on the link below. Tune in for every podcast coming out every Monday in the mornings. Once again, shout out Chidobe Awuzie coming down. Anything that they need to be tuned in for, anything coming up?
Tuned in for just all the energy. I'm gonna be, you can follow my socials and see what's going on. I think San Jose has a lot of talent, and we're gonna try to bring out that talent. So
Yes,
one way
sir.
or another.
San Jose on the map, baby.
Feel me?
If it ain't exclusive, if it ain't an EMLN exclusive, it's your boy BQ, the guest Cheeto, and we out.
I know.
Peace.